What's good with it, fam? It's your boy B High back on the check-in, and hey man, I was scrolling through allhiphop.com when I came across Grouchy Greg's article talking about the Hot Boys on BG's attempt to be released from prison early is being hated on by the feds, man. That's crazy right there. Here's what we know, In the article, they said that rap star BG made a move to obtain his freedom last week, but if prosecutors have their way, he won't be coming home until 2024. A few days ago, BG's lawyer, Robert Jenkins, submitted a request for a compassionate release to get BG out of the penitentiary in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, BG, he's now 39 years old and says his life is at risk because the walls at the USP in Atlanta have been penetrated by the virus with lethal consequences. And now he faces significant risk and even death if he is not granted an early release. Back in July of 2012, BG was sentenced to 168 months in prison after he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of possession of a firearm as a felon and 1 count of conspiring to obstruct justice. As of now, BG has served approximately 113 months of his lengthy sentence, but he has 4 years left. And BG is hoping to be released to home confinement to serve out the rest of his sentence. He wants to use his fame and influence to keep young kids out of trouble, according to Jenkins. Here's a quote from Robert Jenkins. He said, here we have a defendant whom has been a model inmate and can do some extraordinary work with the youth of America. He is well known throughout the United States and is ready and willing to be a role model for the youth of America. Mr. Dorsey has long realized his behavior and actions were wrong and is ready to help the youth of America understand and realize that his plight was wrong and to explain to the youth of America that in this country, there's a better way to be a better person and succeed. However, the prosecutors, they ain't trying to hear all that. They're seeking to block BG's attempt to do good, mainly because they say that he has presented no valid reason to be released from the Atlanta USP early. The first thing they were saying is that BG will be just fine thanks to protective measures put in place to keep inmates from contracting the virus. The Fed said that the BOP has suspended non-essential visits, increased inmates' phone time, and expanded testing for COVID-19 and quarantines inmates who display symptoms or catch the deadly disease. The Feds also said that inmates in Atlanta USP are doing just fine. Just 12 inmates and 8 staff have confirmed positive test results for COVID-19. The United States Attorney, Peter Stresser, said he claims that he suffers from a host of health problems, but provides no specifics and no documentation or medical records to prove his allegations. But what really probably messed up, BG's chances right now, just really making stuff difficult for him, is that somebody told the prosecutors that BG is a high risk for recidivism. And when we talk about recidivism, they're saying basically he's going to go back out there in the streets and do the same thing he was doing beforehand. And therefore, he does not qualify for home confinement. Only those inmates who are considered minimum or low risk for recidivism are considered for such placement. My God, man, hopefully, they can figure this stuff out, man, because BG, he done been in there for a minute now, and it's about time for the man to come home. 4 more years, that's a long time to, have to sit down. But at least it's coming to an end, regardless of how it's looking right now. It's still countdown to, a release date. But hopefully, his lawyers and attorneys can figure out something to get him up out of there. A judge will rule on the case on December 9th, 2020, and I'll keep y'all posted on what happens with that, man. In the meantime, drop a free BG in the comments. I'll holler at y'all in a minute. B High Radio Shouty, I'm gone.